I remember this conversation I had with a friend, and we were talking about purpose and calling, and they said, well, Trevor, that's good for you that you know what your calling is, that you know what your purpose is. And I go, what do you mean? They're like, well, you've got the church, you've got this kind of stuff. And I go, well, that doesn't mean you don't have a calling and purpose. And they're like, I just don't feel like it. I've never really, I've had some dreams in my heart before, but honestly, I'm just a business owner. I'm just a parent now. I'm just kind of going through life. I'm more of an Uber driver for my family than I am anything full of purpose and calling. And then I told them, I just looked them dead in their eyes and I said, listen, that is a part of your purpose and your calling. And they looked back at me almost with offense. And they said, so that's it? It's just this? It's just my family. It's just my workplace. And I felt what they were saying because I think so many people feel that. They do maybe care for those around them, but they want so much more in their purpose and their calling. And I believe this, there is always more, but it starts with those people that are closest to you. It starts with right where you are. If I was to use just a little pie here, okay? And I was to split it up in three different things, the foundation of that pie, if the pie is your life, the foundation of that thing, if that's your purpose, that is starting with those who are around you. So that means your loved ones, your coworkers, your community. Start where you are. And this isn't something I'm just making up. Look what Jesus said in Acts chapter 1, as he's telling the disciples, they're about to be full of the Holy Spirit. He's literally telling them, hey, John baptized you in water. You're about to be baptized in the Holy Spirit, which means immersed in the Holy Spirit. Now, the Holy Spirit would mean that you are carrying God's Spirit. So how could you not have calling? And how could you not have purpose when you carry His Spirit, where it should be dripping off of you, where salt and light should go everywhere that we go because we have God's Spirit. That's an incredible promise given to us by Jesus, and we cannot overlook that. And maybe you don't hear anything else I say, but how you can walk with purpose and with calling is knowing you have God's Spirit within you, the same Holy Spirit that Jesus actually had. But let's go a little bit further. Look at Acts chapter 1, verse 8, where we see Jesus telling them, the disciples, start where you are. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. And you will be my witnesses, telling people about me everywhere. In Jerusalem, notice that, in Judea, in Samaria, and the ends of the earth. So they were in Jerusalem. He's like, start where you're at. And then once you do that, then you'll go to Judea. And then once you do that, then you'll go to Samaria. And then once you do that, then you'll go to the ends of the earth. What is it? It's the principle that Jesus taught in Matthew 25. If you are faithful with where you are, if you are faithful with little, God will make you ruler over much. You have been dealt cards in life, whether they were fair or not. That's a video for a whole different day. What I'm telling you is if you want to find calling and purpose, notice this, start looking for needs right where you are. What does your family need? What is the people that are around you at work? What's a need you could fill for them? What's a need in your community? Just start where you are. Well, Trevor, let's just use maybe your children are going through a season where they really need you. Or maybe there's a thing at work where things are stressful and man, you could be an encouraging voice in that. Or maybe there's something going on in your city that's a major problem that everybody complains about, but not enough people are being light and darkness for. Then look for the needs and watch this. Ask God, what can I do? He's not going to be like, figure it out. No, He's going to speak to you and tell you exactly what you could do. So when you see the needs in your family, you see the needs in your workplace, when you see the needs in your community, you don't have to look for this calling that's outside of that. So many people are infatuated with getting away from where they are that they don't want to serve right in the season they are in. But God's not going to just call you away from it. He wants you to be faithful right where you are. Now, is starting where you are, is that the totality of your purpose and your calling? No, but again, think of the pie of your life of purpose. It is the foundation of it. It is the foundation of all of it to serve those that are closest to you. Zechariah 4 tells us this, because if you feel like, well, I don't even know where to start, and the start is so small, look at Zechariah 4. Don't despise these small beginnings. For the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, to see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's hands. Literally what he's saying is God rejoices over the beginning and just when you're getting the measuring tape out. That was the plumb line. Like just get the measuring tape out and God rejoices in that. Look at Ecclesiastes 11. I love this one. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If they watch every cloud, they never harvest. If you wait for everything to be perfect, if you wait for the perfect season to serve your family, if you wait for the perfect time to encourage or be light in dark places in your workplace, if you wait for the perfect time to be able to serve as salt and light in your community, guess what? It's never going to happen. That's what Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 4 is telling us. It's never going to be perfect. So if you keep waiting, that's all you'll do. It sounds catchy. It sounds cliche, but if you are always looking for perfect, you will always miss purpose. If you're always looking for perfect, you will always miss purpose. And you're watching this because you don't want to miss it. You want to find it. And I'm telling you, start where you are. Proverbs 16 tells us to commit our work to the Lord. Colossians chapter 3 tells us do everything as unto the Lord. So start where you are. Start where you are. That friend that told me that, they weren't a bad person by any means. They were just being honest. Because sometimes we want our calling and our purpose to be so much bigger than the life we're living. And I'm not saying it won't be, but I am saying you never graduate from serving those closest to you. So just start where you are.